Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk about, if you're free to play, the best supports in the game. Alright, we're going to start with the humans. Alright, for like the best leadership slash support characters that you're going to need for pushing World Boss Ultimate and Legend. Alright, as you know, everybody, from the sneak peek we got a couple days ago, I never made a video, but She-Hulk is getting her tier 3 in a new uniform. But her leadership is to all allies increase basic damage dealt to male types. So with that being said, she's going to be a very, very good leadership and support for Hulk and any other characters for against male types. Okay, then you have Titania with her newest uniform. I'm going to look at her uniform effect. Okay, it's nothing. But anyway, her passive to all combat types, 60% increased physical attack. So you can use her for her leadership. And the people with strong abilities, they're increased by 25%. So basically they get like an 85% buff if they have the strong attack and the combat. So that's a good support. Now these are going to be free to play characters that I'm giving you. Okay, you have Ancient One with the latest uniform, and then get her a tier 3. As you can see, all resistance, ignore dodge, and increase all elemental damage by 40%. And then you have 50% energy attack to blast characters. So if you want to slap an insight on her, she's a great support slash lead. Then you have War Machine. Alright, as you can see, applies to all allies with machine abilities like Rescue, Iron Man, Hulkbuster, all the machine types. Even Dr. Octopus with his superior Spider-Man uniform. As you can see, it increases basic attack by 40% and basic defense by 40% with a 30% heal. And then he has 30% physical attack. So like I said, leadership slash support. Okay. On to the next one. And these are humans. So we're going to get into different levels like mutants, inhumans, and so on and so forth. Alright, so White Fox is the best one in the game. She's not free to play, but if you have at least 750 crystals, you can go to her heroic quest and you can unlock her from there. And if you have rank up tickets or a 6-star mega rank up ticket, that's an option too. She's the best one in the game. And if you're a low spender or just a free to play, this uniform is like a seasonal uniform. But with this uniform, she's actually good too. So I'm going to show you. It applies to allies with leadership tag, and it increases their attack by 10%. So that's pretty good. So starting out, if you got this uniform, that'd be great. But with her newest uniform so far, it increases their basic damage by 15%. They get an extra 10% chain hit damage and ignore dodge rate by 30%. So she is great for that, and she's great for dispatch too. But the Kamiho stance, as you can see, allies with leadership abilities increase damage dealt to supervillains by 65% and decrease damage by 30%. And if they have the leadership tag, they get all those buffs. And then you can see all allies increase debuff by 40%. So yes, White Fox is the best support in the game. And as you can see, she's tier 3. Alright, another leadership will be Winter Soldier, because he has 30% physical attack. So make sure, like I said, all these are free to play. Except for White Fox, you have to have 750 crystals to unlock her, but she is well worth it. Okay, and then you have Wong. He's a good support for magic type. See magic allies and 100% chance for immunity to all damage. And then you have applies to magic allies, increase basic damage dealt to superheroes by 53%, and to supervillains by 53%. So Wong is a pretty good support for let's say Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, uh Baron Mordo, stuff like that. So he's a good support. But I use mine as a damage dealer, so I have an energy on him. He's pretty good for a DPS too. All right, the next one, Captain Marvel. Because her leadership, she has all allies 30% energy attack. So she's a good leadership slash DPS. Okay, another support will be America Chavez, as you can see, and a leader. So basically, she like increases all basic attack by 30%, and she has dodge rate increase. But she's a good leadership for the 30% basic attack. And I think her uniform has an effect too. Yes, to all allies, she increases their HP by 40 and decrease damage received by 50%. So you can use her in timeline battle. Alright, let's see who else. Iron Fist. But the only way he's good if they have the Defender's tag. But don't nobody really play Iron Fist no more. So, but his leadership though is actually pretty good if you're starting out. As you can see, apply the defenders, and he increased their basic attack by 60%. So that's really good once you're starting out. Let's see who else we have. Well, if you're a low spender, you got the ball selector. Spectrum has a good leadership, so you can use her. As you can see, to all allies, 36% increase the energy attack and the increased dodge rate by 36%. So she's a good leadership too, also. And then you have Elsa Bloodstone, in which she needs a new uniform, but you're just using her for leadership right now. 30% physical attack. That's all you're using her for, is a leadership. And Maya Lopez, if you have this uniform, she's great also. And you can see with this uniform to all speed types like Makari, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man. She increases basic attack by 60% and the defense, and she can remove all debuffs. So that's actually good. And to speed types, decrease chain hit damage by 20% when attacked, and she has ignored dodge rate by 20%. Okay. And then there's another heroic quest character in Wave. You have to transcend her. She is a great leadership slash support. As you can see, to heroes, increase damage dealt to villains by 50% and decrease damage by 15%. And her leadership, she increases basic attack by 25% to all allies. So Wave is a good leader slash support. And that's it for the human side. Now we're going to get to the alien. And alien, okay, most of these are going to be from your World Boss Ultimates, but you're going to have the newest uniform like Ebony Maw. And Ebony Maw, As you can see, applies to all allies, increase damage dealt to universal types by 35%, and decreases damage from universal by 35%. So you can use him against GBR Dormammu or Galactus, and in timeline battle, or against the World Boss Legends. He's a good leader / support because his leadership gives all allies 40% energy attack. Yep. Okay, that's Ebony Maw. And then you have Proxima Midnight. As you can see, applies to villains, increases damage dealt to supervillain faction by 35% and superhero faction by 40%. So she's a good leader / support. As you can see, applies to all allies and dodge rate by 45% and crit damage increased by 30%. So she's also good for dispatch missions also. And another leadership you could use would be Hela with her newest uniform. And you can see increased attack by 60% for energy attack. So she's a good leadership. And you can use her in timeline battle. And you can see I have mighty authority on her. But I use her for leadership in World Boss Legend too. So then you have Star-Lord, which you have to get him tier 3 through the Epic Quest. And his leadership is 55% to blast types. That's it. Alright. And also Hyperion, and you can farm Hyperion in the Dimension missions. And his leadership is basic attack by 55%. So it's a good leadership. And if you do have all the Eternals unlocked, Thana is a great DPS and a leadership. And as a leadership, she increases basic attack by 50%. And that's it. But yeah, she's a great. She could use her own leadership, like with White Fox and Wave, or Sif and Valkyrie. And I'm gonna show you them later. Okay, Beta Ray Bill has a good leadership for Thor and Mighty Jane Foster. He increased their lightning damage by 60%. So Beta Ray Bill is also a DPS, but he's also a great leader / support. Okay, then you have Ares, in which he's just used for leadership, 30% physical attack. Now, we're going to get the Sif right here. With her newest uniform, she has a great leadership / support. With her uniform effect to all allies, increase basic damage dealt to boss types by 45%. So that's as in World Boss Ultimate and World Boss Legend. And her leadership is for combat types only, in which she increases their HP by 30% and physical attack by 35%. So you can use her in ABX, World Boss Legend, stuff like that. Alright. And Valkyrie, in which you can farm her in the Dimension missions also, with her newest uniform. Gonna be her leadership is nothing, but her passive is where it's at right here. To all allies, ignore dodge rate by 35%, and she increases damage dealt to supervillains by 55% and decreases by 25%. So she's a great support, and she's a DPS for ABX also. And then you have Requiem Gamora with her newest uniform. As you can see, to speed types, 55% increase all physical attack. So she's a great leader slash DPS. And I use mine for ABX with a rage. Okay. That's it for Alien. Now we're gonna go to Inhuman. And the only ones in Human that are tier 3 and transcended are Medusa and Black Bolt. Now Medusa has a great leadership once you're starting out to universal types. 45% basic attack. So you can use her with Black Bolt, Odin, Thor, Loki, all universal types. They're gonna get that buff. And to Inhumans only, she's gonna increase damage dealt to supervillain by 45%. And now we're gonna go to Black Bolt. And his leadership to all Inhumans is 65% basic attack. So he can use his own leadership. But really, he's not used for nothing but story mode. But he's still, if you're starting out or whatever, he's a good tier 3 character. All right. Now we're gonna go to Mutant. All right. Storm with this uniform or her old uniform. With this uniform, if you have this one, she's still a good support character. So we're gonna go to her skills. All right. Her leadership is nothing, but her passive right here is to all allies. She has a ignore dodge rate by 30%, and she increases all elemental damage by 55%. So you could team her up with Jane Foster Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Ghost Rider, all elemental characters. She's going to buff their damage by 55%. And she's a good DPS too. Alright, the next one. Deadpool with this uniform is only for Gwenpool only. So if you don't got this uniform, I wouldn't work on Deadpool until you get some massive rework. Okay, the next free-to-play option really would be Cyclops. He's a good support character and leader. As you can see, his leadership is all allies increase basic attack by 35%. And then his passive is another 30% energy attack. So if you have an energy attack character, they're getting the 30% and the 35%. They're getting 65% off of Cyclops. So he's a good support character. As you can see, I have an insight on him. Alright. And also you have Colossus. And you can use him in timeline battle. Still, if you don't have like the meta characters. But I'm knocking on null stage 50 where you have to have mutants. So with that being said, to all allies, it's a 100% chance to become immune to physical damage, like null. Alright, and as you can see, to all allies, decreased damage received from reflect by 65% and decreases damage received by 50% from supervillain and superhero. So he has a great support in that. And that's about it for Colossus. So he's only a support character only. As you can see, I have an insight on him. And if you do have the crystals and you get Mystique, she's a great support character. And you can see to all allies, she increases damage dealt to supervillains by 40% and increased damage to superheroes by 45%. So that's what I use my Mystique for, just a support character. Alright. And for creature, now with the creature tag, Vision has a pretty good leadership also. As you can see, his leadership, he increased his basic attack by 20%. But for Scarlet Witch, he increases hers by 50%. So if you're using Scarlet Witch and you have this Vision uniform, he'll increase her damage by 50%. And then Hulkbuster, he has a great leadership for like machine type characters. As you can see, he buffs all allies by 35%. But for Iron Man, he buffs up to 70%. So if you have this Hulkbuster uniform, $30.99, and the newest Iron Man, he's gonna buff him up for 70%. So you can use like Hulkbuster lead, Iron Man, and then War Machine. So Iron Man's gonna be tanky, and as you can see, he gets another 35% increase to HP, and that's for machine types. So Hulkbuster is great in that sense for leadership. And other, all right, if you have Infinity Ultron, his leadership is going to be for machine types, and he's going to increase their basic attack by 55%. And I use Infinity Ultron for his leadership on stage 39. I think it's stage 29 of Infinity Ultron, because you have to have villains. So I use Infinity Ultron, Superior Iron Man, and Taskmaster, I think. I can't remember. But I use him for his leadership. Then you have Scarlet Witch. Her leadership is 45% energy attack. So she has her own self-buffing lead. So she's a good support character, well, leader slash DPS. And then Dormammu, even though he's not used for nothing, but you can use him, as you can see, to villain allies, increases damage dealt to superheroes. So you can use him in timeline battle if you're starting out with this uniform. And that's about it for that one. But most of these support characters slash leaders are free to play, where you can get into dimension missions. Oh, and I forgot about another one. It was Crescent. Crescent right here. Crescent has a great leadership. As you can see, all allies 60% increase to physical attack. So she's really good for leadership. So Crescent, you can get her also in a dimension mission. And then you have Taskmaster. Taskmaster, to weapons master's ability, they're gonna have like double guns on them. He's used for that. As you can see, he increases their guaranteed crit rate by 20, ignore dodge rate by 20, and then he gives them skill damage bonus damage if they don't have it. And then for his that's about it really. But that's what he gives them. So he's a great support character. As you can see, I have an insight on him also. And we have Blade. See the weapon master tag, you'll have the dual guns. So you can use Taskmaster with Blade. And his leadership, he's going to buff the weapon master's ability to all allies by 60%. So he has a great leadership. So you can use. So I use for Ultron and so on and so forth. I use Blade for his leadership, then Moon Knight, and then Taskmaster. Because Moon Knight, he's going to get all those buffs also because he has the weapons master tag. And he can take full advantage of White Fox's leadership. Alright, let's see. And I think that's all the support characters in the game right now. But most of them are free to play. So like I said, you can farm these from the Dimension mission and so on and so forth. And you'd have to have their uniforms also. That way you can get the full advantage of the characters. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.